live, right?
We are live.
Awesome.
Hello.
It's like live from New York. It's Star Trek
Well,
live.
it's live from New York and live from a little town just outside of Birmingham, you would call it, in England.
Awesome. Yeah,
But
awesome, Jay. Cool.
welcome to the Attack and Pulse podcast, your place
Yeah,
for sci-fi news, rumor, and debate. And we're actually being joined by an actual Star Trek writer,
that's
Mr.
right.
Will Stape. Say
One
hello, Will.
time or future, maybe probably not future, but one time.
Well, you never know. We are going to talk about a possible change in the guard
Yeah.
over at Star Trek at
I
the
cannot
moment.
wait. You got the goods. You got the 411, my friend. Right? Yeah.
A little bit, a little bit. It just seemed like
Cool.
it's been a big week over at
Yeah.
Star Trek. But first of all, mate, so I should say you have got your own YouTube channel. There is a link in the description, guys, if you would
Cool.
like to go
Yeah.
and follow Will's
Awesome. Yeah.
all Will's stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us a bit about yourself, mate. How did you get
Okay.
involved in Star Trek? What episodes did you work on?
All right. Well, we should do this. We should get this out of the way because my commanding officer would not like it. You ready? Okay.
Oh,
I'm
that's
scanning you.
good.
Oh boy. Too bad there's no battery anymore. But no.
I gotta communicate.
I had the classic fire phaser and all that. But basically, it's one of those things. I found out about the open submission policy. That Michael Piller had instituted at Next Gen, and I had no clue until I bought the Star Trek Companion, that the big book by Larry Nemchek. So I was and I'll never forget the chapter or the entry with the episode clues, and he said Bruce D. Arthur, the Arizona postal carrier and Star Trek fan, proved it could be done. He wrote a Star Trek spec script, submitted it, and it was purchased. And as soon as I read that, boom, the light bulb, the proverbial light bulb. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And then I did it. Yeah, it's crazy, but that's how it happened. Yeah,
Cool.
so neat.
So what episodes did you get involved in, or even just do?
Yeah, it was the episode was Homeward with Worf and his brother Nikolai. My original script was called Shadow Dance. And so I submitted that, and about 2.5, 3 months later, they called and said, "We're buying your script, dude." And it's like, yeah. So
Cool. That's really good. You did work on Deep Space Nine as well, didn't you? Or
and
did I
Deep Space
misread that?
Nine, yeah. And then that was the charity was my title, and it became Profit Motive with Quark and the Nagus. And that was a thrill too, because I mean, Next Gen, obviously, as you know, as all your listeners and watchers know, it is the main sequel spin-off show of old series. But Deep Space Nine is still original. It's such a unique Star Trek show, and just as a drama sci-fi. So that was a thrill. And to think that not only did they, it was a Quark-centered episode that I wrote, but they got the Nagus, they got Wallace Shawn, who I love him. He's one of my favorites. It's cool.
It's to be fair, you've written 2 really memorable episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah.
I put Worf on as soon as because I went and checked your one of the first things I do if someone approaches me, I go, are they actually who they say they are? Because I've been tricked before.
Oh boy.
So I
could be an imposter. No. Jesus,
I think people just sometimes get a bit overexcited.
Yeah.
But I went and look, and as soon as I read the thing, the Worf episode, I was like, oh, that's the one with his brother.
Yeah.
And I went and found it. I was like, Christ, that's a really good episode of Star Trek.
Yeah.
And then, Neelix and the not Neelix,
Quark. I mean.
Sorry, Quark and the Nagus. And
Neelix is the third-rate Quark. Yeah, Neelix is the third-rate.
I saw the title and I was immediately like, "That's the one with the Nagus."
There you go. That's cool. I really lucked out for that, because, and then to have Paul Sorvino to play Nikolai. I mean, from Goodfellas, so many great movies, such a great actor. It was what a thrill. And he was a big Star Trek. He's passed now, Paul. He died. But he was a huge Star Trek fan. He approached them like Whoopi approached, I guess LeVar Burton to be on, to become Guinan. He called Paramount, or he got his agent and all. Really neat.
Yeah, it's really
cool. Yeah.
So, how was the process of when you submitted your script? They bought it.
Yeah.
Was there like a development process then? I mean, did you speak to Piller? Did you speak to all these people?
Not at the time, no. What happened is they buy it and they call it source material acquisition, and they pretty much can do whatever they want with it. And it was a little disappointing, of course, but now dare I say, I've been a little veteran of the process, that I understand it, because then it goes through a writer's room. and then they call it story break. They keep breaking it.
Mm.
And as you probably know too, sometimes they'll have so many drafts, then that might be on a shelf for so many months or years. Yeah, it's a real miracle. I'm so lucky that it was even made, that it was produced, I think, in a way. Yeah.
How
You know,
close
and
to
then
your
the
original
DS9 too.
script then was the actual, like, the final story? How close was that, do you think?
I mean,
Or is it yours, the
was
core
different.
story, and then
Yeah. Oh, it was. My Worf's brother was a mission specialist, like a security specialist, almost like a Worf or a weapons specialist. So they were working on, I think, new photonic, torpedoes to make them better or something. And so that, and then he became a sociologist or an observer, a sort of a cultural observer, Nikolai, which is cool. Yeah. But mine was more, like tech. He was a techie. So yeah.
I was like, under Kurtzman, they don't have like an open policy.
No,
And I was
that's
talking to
long
you,
gone, right? Yeah.
yeah,
It's long
yeah.
gone, yeah.
Well, I was talking to you just before this, and we said, there was a Joe Rogan interview recently, and
Yeah.
Roger Avery, who co-wrote and did the screenplays for like Pulp Fiction, True Romance, and another one of the big ones. I think he was on Reservoir Dogs as well. He's an Oscar-winning
Right.
screenwriter.
He's one of the most respected in Hollywood. He just
Well,
is. Yeah.
just before Star Trek sort of started, he was in a meeting with Alex Kurtzman, and he said, "I would love to get involved with this. I think this, I'm a huge Trekkie. I love Star Trek. I'd love to get involved if you're up for it." And Kurtzman said, "No, I don't want anybody that's got sort of any soft spot for previous Star Trek to be involved.
Oh, that
I
says it all,
want,
Jay,
yeah,
doesn't it? Whoa.
yeah,
That
I want
says
it
it
to be
all.
completely new." So basically the hiring policy was, if you like Star Trek, no. I
Goodbye.
mean, how big a problem, as I said, from a writer's perspective,
Right.
so and a Trek fan,
Right.
how big a problem do you think that is then like translated into what we're now seeing in new Trek?
Right. Oh, it's awesome. It's an awesome point. And you ready? As you know, what is it? We can go through the list. Brian Fuller, right? Joe Menosky, and the biggest of all, Nicholas Meyer, if I recall. Now, I can't remember at what juncture they all stepped out or were forced out. It's like you're talking about three of the biggest heavyweights from the feature films and from the TV shows. Why were they not? And I'm shocked they even got on board in the first place, right? Yeah. So there's a huge problem. We've got a problem, Houston. We do.
And this open policy as well of bringing writers in. Obviously, you got yourself involved, but it got people like, oh my God,
Ron
his
Moore.
name's just gone out of my head. Ron Moore.
Ron Moore.
Ron Moore, basically. I'm sure it was him who's saying, and Terry Metalis. Terry Metalis, there were stories about.
I think so. Right.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
there's stories that he basically broke into Paramount and left his script. Oh, excuse me. By the way, guys, I'm sorry. I've got a head cold.
Yeah.
So if I cough or use that to wipe snot, I apologize in advance.
Necessity.
Well, but I love the Tack and Pulse, and I love you guys so much that I come on even with a slightly irritating.
And you didn't disappoint me. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jay.
Well, yeah, we arranged this like 3 weeks ago, though. So I couldn't really let you down.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really poorly, but I've got a sore throat.
But
I've got man flu. I could die at any moment.
Yeah. Well, ratings will go through the roof.
Man flu is. Oh, if a woman had this cold, she'd be dead immediately.
There you go. You're like a trooper. You're definitely a trooper.
Oh yeah. Just see how the subscriber count goes. 50% of my views. But yeah, I mean that policy basically brought in people that then became Star Trek fans.
Right.
And I appreciate Kurtzman eventually succumbed and did bring in people like Terry Metalis and things like this. But I actually genuinely thought a couple of years ago that Star Trek had under Picard season 3, and I didn't hate the last season of Discovery. So I thought he's got this going in the right direction now. He's steadied the ship. He's actually brought in people like Terry Metalis and others that are actually Star Trek fans. Maybe we could actually sort of get some good Star Trek now.
Right.
And then they did Section 31.
Oh, I know. I tell you. Like King and I, 'tis a puzzlement. It's just wow. And I always say though, I mean, truly, you could take it and this is a weird science fiction film, but it's not Star Trek, right? It has nothing.
Mhm.
What about that is Star Trek to me, right? There was actually because
No,
I forced myself to watch it for the channel, whatever. There's some really actually good moments. There are, but it's not Star Trek. It's just not. Yeah,
it's
it's
not
just
remotely.
it's so
I mean, it was like a joke, but it was a serious comment, to be fair, that if you turn the volume down and you ignore the title card that says Star Trek and you
yeah,
watched it and you said, okay,
yeah,
what sci-fi show is this? You would
right,
just go, well, it must be something standalone. It's
yeah,
not Star Trek. There's
no
nothing
clue.
Star Trek in it.
Right, right,
Um,
yeah,
and I always point to the point that they had the tricorders that looked like, oh, my phone's over there. They look
right,
like smartphones, but they made the
yeah,
original tricorder noises. Track your
right.
tricorder out.
There
So
you go.
it made the tricorder sounds, but it was an
Yeah,
iPhone. I'm like, what is the
right,
creative decision that gets you to
right,
there?
right.
Just don't do it. It's
Right.
just
And I
like,
get even Enterprise, remember and that was a prequel. So, and then Section 31 supposed to be too. But I mean, what they did was sort of a tablet-esque, I guess, but it wasn't that far afield in a way. Whatever. I can
mm.
understand 50 years in the past or 80 years. Come on. You have leeway,
Yeah.
but still, it's strange.
I mean,
Weird.
with the technology that varied between TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, it was always small increments. There wasn't
Right.
anything
Mhm.
too ridiculous.
Yeah, like
Um,
from TNG to Voyager, like what would be the Mark 6 or 7 to the Mark 8? If you really want
yeah,
to get geeky, you can see the little label of them and shit. Yeah, or like what is it?
exactly. Yeah.
Endgame. They had the really like Admiral Janeway with hers. I'm pretty sure, and
Hmm.
and it's got like 5 times more lights and blinkies and all. It's cool. So it's going to be more
Yeah.
advanced, but it's still pretty much a tricorder. You can tell that is a tricorder
Mm,
exactly.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I mean, they jumped to the prequels now, and they've obviously then gone, right, okay, well, technology is advanced. We can't just do this. So we're going to have to make everything all shiny and thing. And I'm just like, if you're going to do that, don't do a prequel.
Right.
Um,
Right. Or
uh,
just
as
have
as a
your
writer, as a
yeah.
writer, though, how do you feel about prequels in
Well,
general, particularly for
that's the
Star
thing
Trek?
too. I always say the only prequels that I liked, I might get a little dinged for this, is the Star Wars prequels. I like them. I just did another rewatch. Do I have problems with them? Yeah, I do. But in terms of overall story building, by the time you get to Sith, but it's good. It really gets good. I
Mm.
do have flaws. I mean, obviously Jar Jar, they're the glaring flaws. I mean, I literally will watch maybe just the end of Phantom Menace, okay, like for Darth Maul and stuff, but but there. What I'm saying is that's the only because you're building to seeing Darth Vader, and that's
Mm,
cool. Who
mm.
cares really about the? I'm sorry, the United Federation planets. Who really cares about? You could do a one-off. You could do an arc, maybe like an episode or two. But who cares about? That's why I really had a problem with Enterprise. And
Mhm.
it's not really a terrible show. It's still a weak show. I've been doing a bit of rewatch. That said, just like I gotta tease you about liking the new Starfleet Academy, the last episode. Fine. There's an
I liked one
one.
episode,
All right,
and
you got one.
and to be fair, my caveat was there's still massive problems with it.
There you go. There you go. But I'll give you
But
one. I'll give you one in Enterprise. I'm telling you, Carbon Creek, that is the
mm,
main. Did you ever see it? It's a
I
great
know the
episode.
one episode you mean.
I'm telling you,
Regenerations
I've seen
was
it
the
like
my
I've
favorite.
rewatched a bunch of
Hmm.
times. I'm like, it is literally you could just pluck it out. Like it's funny, you said
Hmm.
Section 31 really isn't Star Trek. Well, Carbon Creek in a way isn't either, but it's good, meaning that these
Hmm.
aliens land, they got to survive. It's awesome. It's funny, it's poignant, it's suspenseful. I love that episode.
Yeah,
I
but
think
when you've
Natalis
got
wrote it or co-wrote.
26,
Really good.
yeah, when you've got 26 episodes, you can have the odd
There you go.
episode that's not Trek, that's a bit
There you go.
quirky.
There you
Strange
go.
New Worlds feels that every episode
Okay.
has to be
I wrote
genre
articles on
bending
that and I made
nonsense.
videos. The idea of the 10 to 15 slots. You're lucky, right? Some shows, I
Mm.
think 8 to 15. What? What the fuck? That's a mini
Um,
series. What are you doing?
yeah,
You
speaking
know?
to, I obviously get to speak to the people I get to speak to.
Sure.
I know what generally, in fact, for one, the new Stargate series is coming back.
Oh, I can't
What
wait.
they've been contracted
Right.
is 8 to 12 episodes.
Oh, yeah,
That's
okay.
what the initial
Mm,
sort of thing is.
yeah. The
So, but that
order.
doesn't mean,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but apparently what they get is you get like a green light with an initial sort of
Yeah.
window that
Right.
they're writing, and generally they drop on 10 episodes. That's generally
Yeah.
what they do.
I
But they
see.
can have 8, they can have 11, and we see that with streaming services all
Right.
the time. That sometimes a show will have 11 shows.
Yeah, or even
And
15, I think. Rare, maybe even 15 I've seen.
rarely.
Yeah, yeah.
But basically, then they go into the writers' room and they do their runners shows,
Right.
but they're not restricted to like 24 episodes. You know, they're not
Yeah.
restricted. If they can basically go back to Amazon and go, "Oh, we've got a brilliant story arc, but we need 11 episodes," Amazon could
Right.
just go, yeah.
Right.
Actually, or they go, actually, we're really high CGI and blah blah blah. So if we
Mm,
can have 8, can we keep all the money? And they
right.
they they have that sort of conversation.
Mm.
Um, but with Star Trek, it's just 10 episodes. I mean, I think the first season of Discovery got more.
Yeah, I think
But
Discovery
other
was
than
12
that,
or 15, I think, 1 or 2. It's hard to
I
remember.
want to
Yeah.
say it was 16, the first one,
Maybe.
but
Yeah.
I can't
Maybe.
remember.
Well, look at
I
Voyager. I think the first season of Voyager was 15, I think. Yeah, right? Maybe. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've wandered up to 26 in some of
Yeah,
the
and then
seasons
they
since
did like
originally.
standard more, but the first season was that, if I
Yeah,
recall, right? So
I
yeah,
think you're
because I
right.
remember it landed in January, the pilot, and then I went
Mm,
out to pitch my first big pitch meeting in person, and that was in May of so
mm,
February, March, April, May.
mm,
That was 4 months later. Yeah,
mm. But
that was great.
let's get your position on New Trek just
Sure.
quickly then. So we just sort of basically, I'll throw a series, a couple of quick questions at
Yeah,
you, and you just give me like your immediate, like short, like boom.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, um, Discovery season 1. I
It
think it's an abomination. Would
it's
you
just
agree or disagree?
yeah, no, I mean it's just so confusing. That's right. It's just
Yeah.
like we come on. How excited were we to get Star Trek back, right? As a TV show,
Oh
like I
God, yeah.
always say, yeah, I love the movies. I love many of the films, but Star Trek's a TV show, right? Just like we're saying about the short order of streaming. How can
Hmm.
you build a really good show in 8, 10, or even 12 episodes? It's hard, and so
How do you get to know
Discover,
the characters? I
yeah,
mean, they didn't bother in Discovery. They just didn't bother with characters.
yeah.
They sort of
Saru,
went,
Sabu, whatever.
this is Michael Burnham, and this is a guy that goes out of his neck. And then other than that, don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And
you know,
that's really what they did.
right. It was almost like ready. It's almost like what is it like? The bait and switch. Like you've got this, and now
Hmm.
we're going to give you this. And we were just talking before too about Minosky, or well, in this case, Fuller and Nicholas Meyer. Like, where would they? Like, I would just love the fly in the
Mm,
wall to see how
mm,
much they approved of things or what they contributed at that time. I guess maybe they'll write their memoirs one day. They'll say it. I don't know. And then by
yeah,
this time, the
yeah.
damage is done or it's over. But it's just
Well,
sad.
it looks like, and again, I've got a video dropping immediately after this. I
Mm,
did a video about a week ago actually saying that Starfleet Academy season 2 cancelled the truth, and actually saying that look, a lot of YouTube channels have been jumping on this for a couple of weeks saying
mm.
it's cancelled, it's not happening. Even
Right.
going as far as saying season 2 won't air,
Right.
and it's been
Whoa.
confirmed by their insiders.
Mm.
It's not true. It's a
Yeah. Okay.
nonsense.
So that'll probably air the second season. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely air.
Right.
Basically, it works out that Paramount have already paid for it, so there's no benefit to not airing
Yeah.
it,
Right.
basically.
Right.
Um, the thing is, though, this week Starfleet Academy did get cancelled, according to the people I speak to.
Right.
So there
You sound
won't be
very
a third.
definitive right now. I'm saying your source. You
Yeah,
really trust them, right? Yeah. So that's
on this one, I'm pretty confident. Yeah, that these
wow.
things. Now there are other rumors that
Okay.
Kurtzman Trek is that Secret Hideout have been notified they're not getting a new deal this week. That it
Mm.
happened Thursday,
Right.
apparently.
Right.
How would you feel about what's your instinct on that?
Right, but again, to be clear, you're saying canceled and no new deal, like there, because that could be two separate things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really interesting.
oh, definitely. But there is not going to be a new
Yeah,
deal for Alex
I gotta
Kurtzman, or
say,
definitely
come
at
on,
least not an
yeah,
exclusivity deal,
right,
at
right,
least.
Jay, I gotta say, I'm kind of elated if it's true. I gotta be. Look, I mean, it's sad. I was gonna say it's sad a person loses their job, but the guy is okay. I did a quick check before our talk here. Ready? He's worth
Mhm.
over 300 million. Alex Kurtzman, not bad. You ready? Rick Berman, 60 million. Ron Moore, 22 million, and Brannon Braga, 12 million. Now, I could go on and on, but wow, to think that the true heavyweights that literally
Mm.
shaped and created and they're nothing close. Now, he did what? He did the movies. Even the Mummy with Cruise, even though that was a bomb, he got paid well, I'm sure. So he's done many other things, I guess, arguably, but that's
Yeah.
insane.
Well, he was only a writer before he sort
Right,
of
the
managed
only
to
writer,
talk
right? Yeah,
Paramount into
yeah.
letting them
Well,
out.
he was a director
But
on Mummy. I'm saying, yeah, some, yeah, or
well, yeah.
co-writer on Mummy, yeah. So I don't know.
But
Yeah,
he'd only done, you know, don't get me wrong, he'd not done
yeah.
$300 million. That is purely through siphoning off Roberts for Secret Hideout.
I was gonna
They
say, and I'm
paid,
right.
I want to say it was 500 million for the extension,
It's
but that might be
unbelievable.
wrong.
And then come on, I'm sure J.G. Abrams kind of set him up for that because of the deals
Yeah,
with the 2009 Trek and Into
yeah.
Darkness and Beyond, right? Well, no, he didn't have
It
anything.
was,
I think he was a consultant on Beyond or story. Yeah,
okay.
he didn't write the
Yeah, yeah.
script, but a producer, whatever.
270 million was the extension. Sorry, I've just remembered. It came to my head.
It's
I'm sure
just
it's
right.
270 million.
Right, but you know how
Um,
deals are. You know these payer plays, the way they can set stuff up so that no matter what
mm,
happens, they're still going to get their coin of the realm. Or, you know,
yeah,
who
yeah,
knows? I just thought that was really depressing that he's worth
yeah,
that much more than the guys that we really admire that built Star Trek, that truly made it. You know, so
yeah, exactly. I
uh,
know he's got his fingers into the merch and stuff, but
mm,
the Discovery, all
mm.
that merch from Secret Hideout doesn't sell.
I was just that. Remember we were
Um,
talking about before air here, like where
yeah,
I never see merch of anything new of Star Trek in the stores. I
yeah,
still see classic. I still see Captain
mm,
Kirk and Spock in stores. It must
yeah.
be selling and next gen. So you know, right there you go. There you
I love
go.
my, I love my Klingon merch.
Right.
Right,
I mean,
it's
and
so good.
this one was part of a little book series. You know, you got like a little book,
Yeah,
and you got one of these. It was like
mhm,
$12. It's so cool, and they still selling
yeah,
these.
yeah.
So, you know,
Um,
yeah,
I mean, it's just like I would be shocked. Now Lego have got this Star Trek thing. This was Blue Bricks
yeah,
when I got this, but Star
yeah,
Trek have now it's Lego. They've already
yeah.
released a D.
Cool. You can't get a better
They
brand, boy. Lego. It's awesome. Yeah.
well, they won't be releasing. I would be shocked if they released a Lego model of the Discovery or
There
something.
you go.
It wouldn't sell. Nobody would buy the damn thing.
Yeah, right. Because
So
they're doing wait, they're doing D first, or they're doing the old or
they've
the
already done the D.
they done
It's
the
already been
D. So that
released.
yeah. So that was
Um,
their flagship intro. Cool.
yeah, that
Okay.
was the
Yeah.
first one. I see.
Yeah.
I've got a Lego D up there that Blue Bricks did. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But the new one, the Lego one, the saucer section comes
Yeah,
away.
that's I heard that. Yeah, cool. I think it's what
That
like
is quite cool.
400 well in pounds or here. I think it's 400. It's like wow, but I guess it's worth it.
Yeah, it was like £380 here,
So
something.
here, like a
So
little over four. Yeah,
if they release an E,
yeah.
I might have to go buy it.
Nice. Yeah,
If they
The E
release,
doesn't get that much
yeah,
respect. The E is great. I love the E. It's
I love
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's doing it's losing Warp 6 stood still. But
Yeah.
the thing I would go and buy instantly if they do a movie thing, the refit of the Constitution, because that is
Oh,
the
yeah.
most beautiful starship ever designed for
The
anything
refit
for me.
from Motion Picture.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
I would,
You
I would
cannot get
buy
better
that in a
than that.
second.
Can you get better? You
Five,
can't. You
no,
can't. Yeah.
500 quid Lego model. I'm
It's
there.
beautiful. Thank you, Jin. Yeah, because
That will
like it
be
took
in the
right.
background.
It took everything from the original design and just made it better. Made it right. It made
Yeah.
it beefier, more kind of military in a good way, more powerful,
Hmm.
more. Oh, I could go on and on. I fell
Yeah.
in love with that. I was like, I think
Yeah.
7 years old when that came out, whatever, and I was like, I just love this ship. Yeah,
Yeah. I would pay for
yeah.
DS9. You can,
What is it? 600 for
yeah.
Deep Space Nine.
You can
Yeah.
still get a DS9 on Blue Bricks. They just don't call it the DS9. It's called like a Alien Space Station or something.
Right.
So they
Yeah.
actually the Deadless that I got
Yeah.
wasn't called the Deadless. It was come like a Alien Interceptor or something or Carrier or
Right.
something
Right.
because they hadn't got the Stargate deal yet.
It's so
And then they got the
funny.
Stargate deal and they went, oh, that
Right.
model that we've been doing. Yeah, it was
Mm.
secret. It was really the
It's
Deadless.
great.
So,
I love that they use that generic sort of, it's so funny.
yeah, generic. So just to get around
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
was talking.
But
I
then
interviewed
I
Rick.
got that.
There you go. There you go. I
Yeah,
interviewed Rick
go on.
Sternbach years ago. He was cool, so cool. And I guess it was just after the 2009 movie. And I guess he worked on
Mm,
like a low tier. He did some like signage for some of the ships in a way,
mm,
whatever. But I was saying about Deep Space Nine and how that's an amazing design. Really, it's incredible
mm,
that design. It's so intricate and it's so
mm.
busy and it looks like it really would work as a space station. I love it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So you did mention how you didn't particularly like Enterprise. So
Yeah. Whew.
I
But I
was
mean, I
saying
like
that
it
I
more now. I gotta say, I like it more
comparatively,
comparatively.
comparatively,
And
it's
again,
like,
Carbon Creek is amazing. There's one, I'm
mm,
not that great with the titles because but there's one I call it the Beauty and the Beast episode with Hoshi and this dude who kind of looks like the Beast, and he's got a castle. It's almost like a romance novel. It's pretty good though. That was cool. And then of course when they bring the Borg back, yeah, they kind of deviate and they kind of retcon a bit, but it's fun. It's good. It's pretty. Flock screaming in the chamber. Come on, that's a great scene. It's
Regenerations is my favorite episode.
There you go, Richard. It's good. It is good. So
and I like the decon chamber with T'Pol.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go.
I like that a lot.
There you go.
So I was a young man at that time, so I'm like, they're rubbing stuff on each other.
They showed that up the butt here, and and UPN, United Permanent. They just kept showing that clips, come on, and everyone was like, "Whoa, Star Trek's really changed." Exactly.
Yeah, the sex now. It hasn't, was it? Star Trek always was kind of sexy. Look at Deanna Troy's uniform.
Hello, right? I wrote Star Trek Sex, the book.
Of course, did you? The expert in sex.
There you go. Well, I don't know about the expert, but yeah, no, but really, you look at that, it was not only Gene Roddenberry, and we could go on about Gene Roddenberry's, maybe real life stuff people like to, but I'm saying like what Gene did for the 60s, for that late 60s, right? That sexual revolution was coming in then into the 70s. It just was. And you look at those costumes and the alien gals and guys, whatever. It was just really beautiful. I don't think it was ever tawdry or a porno. It was sexually mature, really cool. Yeah.
I don't think those skirts and things on the uniforms could have been much shorter without being porno.
Yeah, really. That's true.
There was an element of you need to walk straight. You cannot bend over at all.
Right.
Or we will see your Uranus.
Right. Well, there you go. Well, look at even I Dream of Jeannie, Barbara Eden. The idea they couldn't back then. They couldn't show the belly button. They had like the midriff and all. But come on, even her costume. Come on, that's a landmark in TV in so many ways. Even though they could, So, and that's
I don't care about Gene Roddenberry's past or what he was really like in real life or any of this
behind the scenes. I know, but they say that now.
He created this universe that he wanted. I mean, I would think that he wanted. You could see it as a metaphor for himself. Maybe he was the sort of person that wanted to be better. So he created a universe where everybody was better.
Right.
I write sci-fi and I write little bits of fiction just for myself, not
short stories and all. Cool.
I'm trying to write a sci-fi novel, but I'm not very good at it. But I've got this idea that I've bounced around for like 10 years, and I'm trying to write it down.
Fuck it.
But
keep at it.
It's well, I'm just too damn busy. But I'm trying. But I don't write what I am. I write aspirationally.
Right.
And I think Gene Roddenberry was doing that sort of thing. But anyway, go back to my point. So we've got we had Enterprise. What it looks like is going to happen. All right. And I'm not saying this is definite, but it looks like is happening is Kurtzman Trek is going to come to an end, and the first thing that we get out of the gate post Kurtzman Trek is going to be the President Archer Star Trek United show.
United, right? Interesting, very interesting. And again, I'm not objecting to that really at all, even though I'm not a fan of Enterprise. Why not? We'll see. Yeah.
But I mean, what do you think about this? Sort of, I think it's like this poetic circle, really, of starting something new with where Braga accepted Star Trek ended.
Right. No, exactly. There you go. And it'll be interesting. I don't know what he's doing. But, because Metalis after season 3 got very hot, Terry Metalis, right? In demand, right? Maybe he'll even come back for it. We'll see. That'd be interesting, because he wrote a couple episodes. He was Brannan's assistant, right? Writing assistant, I think. Yeah. So maybe that'd be great. Why not? Why not? I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I think it would be very difficult to get Metalis back.
Yeah, but
because he's shot off to Disney and he's doing all sorts with Disney.
You're doing Marvel, I think, Marvel stuff,
He's doing a Marvel series, and I think he's doing an Escape to Witch Mountain series as well.
Really?
But I might have made that up.
Yeah, really?
The Escape to Witch Mountain with The Rock that they did a few years ago was
brilliant. I heard that was bad. I didn't see it, but I'm a fan of the first two. They're good. Those movies, they're fun.
Yeah. Honestly, give the Rock one a show. It's not the classic, it's not a classic, but it's good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film.
I didn't see the new one. And maybe it is good. I didn't see it. Yeah.
It's a rock movie, but it's one of the early
Yeah.
rock movies. But
Right,
it's
right.
it's one
But
of
you
the
know, the
first ones he
classics are
called it
really
up
good.
Dwayne
Yeah,
Johnson.
they still stand
Yeah,
up. The classics, they're very good. Yeah,
yeah, I like them. Yeah, Escape to Witch Mountain and Return to Witch Mountain was
yeah,
the
yeah.
early Disney. They were very much those Disney sort of movies from the time.
Right, and you know
Um,
the boy lead was Scotty's nephew in Wrath of Khan,
I
Ike
did not know
Eisenman.
that.
Yeah, Ike Eisenman. Yeah, he's a good guy. He does a
I
lot
did
of
not know that.
podcasts now. He became, I think, a cameraman or an editor. You know, he's pretty much
Mm,
left the acting behind, but he had a pretty good career. He After that, he did a lot of TV shows. He was guest starring in
mm,
everything, and then he was Scotty's nephew. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
mm.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I did not
good
know that. I
stuff.
did not know.
Yeah.
So, we're also getting a new Star Trek movie that's going to be well, it's supposed to be a standalone story, but it's going to be a refresh, a
Oh,
restart
this is
of Star
confirmed.
Trek.
Really confirmed. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Cool.
guys that did Dungeons and Dragons
Oh
are going
wow.
to do it. I want Goldstein and Daly, but I can't remember their first
Okay.
names.
I saw right. I watched for whatever reason I was pulled away. Like, you know, it was on Paramount. It was pretty good. I saw the first like half hour. It wasn't bad. Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. It
That's a good
was
film.
kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a fun, silly movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
one bit I love that they run into. They're in a maze and there's a prison
Right.
sort of thing, and they run into this one cage, and it's
Right.
the characters from the cartoon of Dungeons and
Oh
Dragons,
wow. I love it. Yeah.
and in a cage, and they sort of go,
Neat.
oh, and then run off. So there's like
Right.
literally a guy with a hammer and
Right.
everything.
Right. The
So I
same. Oh my
love
God.
that.
It's awesome.
But yeah,
That's
they're doing
good.
it.
See,
And
that's like stuff we could go into Trek, meaning when you hearken back to something, like you say, what a callback, nostalgic, Easter eggs, it could be fun if done right. That sounds like it was done right. That sounds fun. But
yeah,
again,
yeah.
just to say, oh, James T. Kirk Pavilion or something, it's just right. It seems stilted. It seems very, you know, just
Mm,
yeah, like fan
mm,
serving. It's just surface. It's not really, you know,
mm.
fitting. Yeah, I know.
I'd like to see, yeah, I'd like to see what well, we are going to get to see what they're going to do with it. I'd
Mm.
love it that if it wasn't a prequel, but in all honesty, it's probably going to be.
Well,
But I
yeah.
did a video a couple of days ago saying just be brave and don't base it on the Enterprise or with like a young Kirk or with something like
Right.
that.
Right. Oh, with the
The
movie, right? The movie.
Federation,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't do that. Do
Right.
do a Star Trek Federation
Right.
movie. I mean,
Right.
we were always told we might get an Excelsior TV series.
Yeah, well, the Sulu,
I'd have,
Takei, George Takei,
yeah,
right? Right. Yeah.
I'd have loved to have seen that.
I would have loved it.
Um,
Yeah.
we can't really get it now because George Takei is like
Yeah.
900 years old. But
Right. But
I'd love to have seen something like that along
right.
the way. But
I know it. You know. Yeah.
well, let your imagination run right now. If you had control and you did a Star Trek movie today, what sort of thing? Where would you set it? How would
It's
you do it? Would you go
it is,
modern? Would you go back?
you know, maybe you ready. I think offhand, and people, you know, a lot of people have said it's no novel and original as the feature films from, you know, the undiscovered country into next gen, you know, that kind of era, right?
Mm,
We've not seen that. Yeah. So that would be it. Well, I mean, we saw
the
what
missing
is it?
years.
Yeah, you
Mm,
say Generations, and then you see Kirk, and you know, that's a quick little vignette opener, kinda. But you know, yeah,
hmm
that could be cool. Why not? And then I agree with you, of course, Decay. I mean, he's still going strong, but he's a little too old to maybe, you know, headline a show, but maybe something, you know, around that. I mean, recast or, you know, Excelsior, yeah.
mm,
So that would
mm.
qualify, right? Between the futures and next gen.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see the Star Trek's Enterprise C because we know what happens
Mm.
there.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Unless they did that and
Mm.
that's how the series ended with
Yeah,
it being destroyed. How we know it. But the
right,
B, we don't really know anything
right,
about.
right.
So,
Exactly.
um,
You
and
know?
they could even throw in a little, well, it's been installed Tuesday joke here and there as long as they don't overdo it. But
Right,
they'd
right,
have to do it at least once, wouldn't they? They'd
right,
have to do a that's going to be
right,
installed Tuesday. But
right.
I'd be happy with that. And again, that's the
Yeah,
missing years. We don't
yeah,
know anything about what
yeah.
happened to Star Trek in those years.
Exactly. Or as you said before, it really sparked my interest when you said Roger Avery, because Quentin Tarantino, you know the story with Quit. That's, I
Hmm
mean, really think about that. I do you remember why was that torpedoed photon? What happened? Like it was so good to go, right? The script was ready, he
Yeah.
was really into it. And then what
It
happened?
seemed
Like,
to come down to Tarantino actually kind of
Oh,
decided he didn't want to do it.
oh, that's right, because he wanted
Um,
to do his firm 10, and that wasn't going to be
yeah,
one. Yeah, okay. So
yeah, he
it was
basically said that I'm not
yeah,
sure I can have my 10th movie to be a
right.
Star
Be a
Trek film.
Star Trek, right? It was
Um,
QT. It was QT. Okay, yeah,
yeah, but what he should have done was just like not directed it or not dinged
yeah.
it or whatever, and just been
Produce,
executive producer on it. And
right,
yeah,
and just pretty much called the shots in ways. But thank you.
yeah, but bring
There's
in
so
Roger
many.
Avery, pick
Right.
a director that he thought could
Come
do
on.
it. And to be
Right.
fair, I think he would want to bring in somebody that was maybe a bit more Star Trek to direct it, maybe
Yeah.
just to. I think I think it's one of those things that you'd maybe want to rein some
Mhm.
of the creative decisions that Tarantino might make in a little
Right.
bit. Maybe you might want
Oh,
somebody there
yeah.
just go, that's a bit too far, maybe.
Yeah.
Which we get a lot of that sometimes when
Mm,
yeah, a director with a very distinct style. But he's
mm.
obviously Tarantino's a Star Trek fan.
Right. And
Roger
he's
Avery's a Star Trek fan.
right. And come on, all his movies. I'm not the biggest QT fan. I'm not the biggest Tarantino fan, but he does make some pretty good movies.
Mm.
And when he does something that really hits it out of the park, it's very respected. I was so
Well,
excited. A Star Trek movie by Tarantino. I know. I thought, yeah.
well, it would have had a lot of eyes on it, and they keep talking
Yeah,
about Paramount keep talking about wanting to like bring in a new young generation of Star Trek because us old
right,
Star Trek fans are all dying.
right.
So,
Thank you.
I mean, do a get him
Yeah,
to do a Tarantino movie. How much
right.
attention would that get? I
Exactly.
mean,
And then
it would
don't you
get
think I
loads.
can't say offhand, I would think his movies are pretty international. Like, I mean, he's an American,
Yeah.
but really, I think we'd get like, whoa, like Star Trek is kind of more on the world stage. I was
Mm.
so happy. I know. So
But
sad.
the thing
Well,
is, I mean, he's never done a sci-fi movie like
yeah,
that.
there you
So
go.
again,
There
it
you
was
go.
yeah. I'm just ashamed. Maybe they could get his
Yeah,
script done at some point, and
right,
it wouldn't be his 10th movie if he just does the
right.
script.
But there
So
you go. You're right. I'm in charge of Star Trek. I bring in QT somehow. I force him.
yeah,
Do
I
it.
just do a
Do
film
it.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I personally, I think we've talked about this before, but again, I'd love to know your perspective from as a writer and creative thing. What
Sure.
I think they need to do now is just end Kurtzman Trek and not greenlight a new show. I don't think they
Oh
actually
yeah.
should probably do United straight away.
Rest. Rest.
I think they
Yeah.
should have a bit of a rest, but bring the movies back. And the way
Yeah.
I see it is like the original series movies after this series, and they you gain that momentum for the movies every couple of years, and
Right.
then we got TNG, and then
Mm.
and I think it needs a break to sort of almost like wash the Kurtzman off it.
Yes.
Um,
I love
would
it.
you do something similar if you that was you?
I
Maybe
would.
like try to do a big movie event and then
I
sort of
think you're right, though. I think I did more than a couple of videos or articles about letting it, like sleeper ship, putting it into
mm,
sleep for a while, right? Even
hmm
2 or 3 years, that's nothing in a way. And then people will start to
yeah.
miss it, and they'll say, "Oh, well, remember how we missed Star Trek? My God, it was like, ooh. Even though
How
we
long
would
was
always
it?
just rewatch, we
How long
rewatch.
was it between Enterprise and it was only was it 10 or 12 years or something? It wasn't
Um,
that long, was it?
Okay, well, I'm thinking about Nemesis, right? Nemesis, an Enterprise, right? Okay, but it was still like, yeah, I don't know, yeah,
My
maybe it
phone's
wasn't
over
that long. Yeah,
there. Somebody in the comments will help us. When
2016.
did because the new series started well it was after 2009. It must have been
Well,
we've had a decade of Kurtzman.
yeah,
No,
because
we've
that
had
was
7 years of Kurtzman.
yeah. So, well, it was wasn't it 2016 that it started on Discovery? I
That would sound
think.
about right. Then
Yeah.
2009 was when first
Okay,
movie
well, that's
came
true.
out.
All right, so then, yeah, that's true. Well, I guess I'm saying more TV show, missing a TV show.
Yeah.
As much as I like the movies,
That's what we need to do. We need to miss it for a little bit, I think. But
yeah, and I
also we
think,
just need to get the
right.
stinker Kurtzman off it, I think.
Right, and what was Enterprise? Wasn't Enterprise 2004 that it ended, or 2006? So you're
Yeah,
talking
Carlos
10
says it's
years.
2017. Yeah, 10
Yeah,
years
so you're
between.
talking 10 years of a TV show, a decade. So that's what I'm saying
Uh,
more. Even though, yeah, the
yeah.
movies were good. I love the 2009 really was effective to me. I did like it. Into Darkness and
Mm,
Beyond, yeah, there's some moments. They're all right. Beyond, I didn't like though at all.
yeah.
I
Was
didn't
it
like.
really
I like the opener.
2000?
Beyond was fun
So
as
it's
well.
2005 when
Okay.
Discovery ended. That can't be right, can it? It's 21 years
No,
ago.
no, it launched 2016 to Discovery, right? Yeah.
No, Discovery did. So
Yeah.
yes, that was 10 years between Enterprise ending and
Right.
think,
So
I
that's
can't
what I'm
believe
saying.
Enterprise was 21 years ago.
There you go. So that's what I'm saying.
God,
Again,
I'm
movies
old.
are fine, and you're right. 2009 gave us our sort of Trek fix again,
Yeah,
but it wasn't a
yeah,
TV show, and it was, then it was kind of, dare I say, not recycled, but it was Kirk and Spock, which is fine. But you wanted to see, a new, and I always thought, didn't you, it was going to be another next gen show or something in the next gen era, not a
yeah,
prequel, not a prequel.
yeah.
You don't need another prequel. I know. I was really mad.
No, I always say prequels just piss on candy. But
Right.
I remember Disco dropping, right, and I was desperately excited. And
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh was in it, who I
Yeah.
adore.
Yeah.
And it was the Shenzhou, was the first starship we saw, and I'm like, oh,
Right.
that looks good.
Right.
The opening scene was them lost on the planet, and they
And
draw a big
that's a great
insignia.
opener too, right? I
Really
know.
good. And then it went off a cliff like
I love it.
lemming with a
I guess.
rocket up its
Right.
arse. It just properly like,
Yeah.
and the
It's
Klingons turned up, and we're all like saying, going, "What the fuck is
what
that?"
the fuck?
'Cause, like,
Who the fuck is that? They're like
yeah,
purple eaters. Long, yeah,
yeah.
purple. What the hell? Yeah.
It's- there's a thing over here when I was a kid, and it was like his Play-Doh character, and I want to
Yeah.
say it was called Mork, but that's not right. But no, it was this Play-Doh character anyway, and it used to,
Okay.
and he used to have a big guy to talk about. And I was just looking at it going, why have they made a Play-Doh Klingon? I don't,
Right.
I think you guys, you call it silly putty in America, like
Yeah, silly
clay
putty.
that
Yeah.
you can,
Yeah. We,
yeah.
we have Play-Doh too. We have Play-Doh as well, but we have silly putty too. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it was like
Mm,
silly putty Klingons. I'm looking at going, they look creepy.
right.
No, why they look creepy? They're supposed to look kind of scary, like animals, like,
Right.
hunters.
Right.
They look creepy. And then they had Klingon sex, and I was like, I don't want to watch this.
It's like, right now you could argue, of course, the old series, they looked so human, and then the motion
Mm,
picture, the first one, Mark Leonard, they put the bumps and then morph,
yeah.
that makeup. So you could say there's an evolution. I kind of respect
Mm,
and even like that to a point, but like we're saying, the Discovery, it's crazy. It's like an entirely
yeah.
entirely different species or entirely different, right?
Thank you, Erasmus. That would
Yeah.
have bugged me. It was
Oh,
bloody
morph.
Morph.
Oh, morph. That's a
I was
character you're talking about.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Mork was Nanny Nanny.
No, 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 no.
Nanny
There you
Nanny.
go. Right,
Um,
right.
I was sort of like, I know that's not right. But
Right.
thank you guys.
And he's
You guys
also
are
on
the
X-Men.
comments.
Morph is, I'm a big the 97 version of the animated series X-Men. He's Morph was a character. I'm just saying, yeah, Morph was on the X-Men too.
I don't. Which character was Morph
He
in
was a
the X-Men?
shapeshifter. Yeah, he was a shapeshifter.
Okay.
He was only in, I think, 1 or 2 episodes. They kind of killed him off, but then brought him back. Kind of spoiler there, but yeah, yeah.
I struggled to watch the 97, X-Men 97
Really,
thing,
I
actually.
loved it.
I
I loved it.
loved it when I was a kid.
Right. Oh,
Um,
or you're saying the Disney, the redo, the 97, right? You didn't
yeah,
like
but actually, yeah,
it? Yeah,
X-Men
I liked
97. I
it. No,
struggled to watch it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
I
they were
need to
really,
watch it.
they were really respectful of the old, and they just brought something new too. I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the style they did. They tried to do it
Yeah.
with
Come on.
He-Man and Kevin
Oh, that's
Kevin
right. I
Smith
never.
tried to do it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Really, I only saw like a trailer or clips. I never actually watched it. So yeah.
He-Man wasn't actually in the first half of the series.
Are you serious? Oh my God. Well, that's a problem. What the hell is
No, it
that?
was all around Taylor.
What the hell?
Taylor? Tila.
Tila. Yeah. How about the new one? I heard, some good things. I guess I didn't see the full trailer, but I heard
So
it's,
excited.
really are you? Yeah. It looks pretty good. It looks all right.
I know somebody that worked on it, and
Really
initially
cool.
they told me that
Nice.
it was very tongue in cheek, and he was like, "You're going to fucking hate it."
Oh,
And
shit.
then I spoke to him about a month ago. No, it was just before Christmas, so about
Okay.
2 months ago. So, and he went, the edit is just great. Every time it goes through the edit process, they cut something silly out of it. So they did
Nice.
all these like cheesy. It's just, don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of it in there. When they're on Earth, there's a lot of sort of little references to the series, and
Right.
it gets a little bit because they just keep cutting it out and cutting it out.
Good.
And so every time it's just every edit gets just got a bit better. And now that it's finalized now,
Right. Got
just
more serious and yeah, cool.
yeah,
Right.
because there's still a bit of fun in there. There's still a
Right.
few bits that are going to make you go, no. But
And
but
we
on the
can't look.
whole,
We can't not mention
yeah,
how Robbie Duncan McNeil's career was started. Right, he was in the first one with
mm,
Dolph Lundgren with Frank Langella. Right, That's a come on.
Yeah, yeah,
That's like a fun bad version. Like it's not
yeah, yeah.
great at all, but it's fun. I like it. I'll watch it sometime. Yeah.
The only thing he's told me is that basically He-Man isn't great,
Really?
and he
You mean
says
the
it's not.
actor and doing it? Yeah.
Yeah, he says his voice when he becomes He-Man. So
It's
they
not.
didn't. That it was one of those damned if they do and damned if they don't situations. They didn't use a load of CGI to make him really big and to change him
Mhm.
loads. And I
Yeah.
said, but if they'd have done it, people would have gone crazy. But they
Mhm.
didn't, so people still go crazy. But
Oh, okay.
excuse me. But
And they didn't trick
what
out his voice. You mean his voice is a little weird? Like yeah,
pretty much stays the same. Yeah. So it just
yeah,
doesn't. It's not. There's not a lot of bass in his voice, sort of thing.
yeah.
So
Like
it's
I
just a little
have
bit.
the power. And all that shit.
Yeah. He just sort of goes, "I got the power." Yay!
Ah,
Sort of thing.
that's
And then he
great.
goes, "Oh, Skeletor, you bugger."
Oh man,
Um,
Jared
but
Leto
obviously,
was the Skeletor. That's a pretty good
yeah,
choice.
I was going to say Jared Leto because he's in it. He-Man will bomb. Because
Really,
Jared
that's a
Leto's in it.
really interesting theory. I do kind of like that,
Yeah,
though.
he's
I have to kind of
cursed.
agree. You're right.
He's cursed.
Fucking Tron. We could go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tron Legacy bombed. It's not actually that bad.
I was gonna say,
Um,
so a friend of
it's
mine said it's pretty
yeah,
good. I gotta finally. I'll
it's
take a look,
okay.
maybe even this weekend. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's on Disney. It's okay.
fuck it.
It's
But
got great special effects. It looks
yeah,
beautiful.
right. But like you
It's
said,
just
he's
not a
kind of
bad
like
film.
he's like a fucking
Yeah,
dead weight. He's like a there's a
yeah.
great line in one of my favorite horror movies is John Carpenter's The Fog. No, The Fog.
I love
There's
it. Yeah.
I love it. Remember the line with Adrienne Barbeau in the lighthouse, and she's playing those tapes, and it's a war, and you hear all the the weird like feedback, and you hear the guy go the ghost of the cat. He goes, it was like a millstone, a millstone. That's Jared
Hmm.
Leto. He's a millstone around
Yeah.
our neck.
Everything he touches
Here you
dies.
go. And he's a really
Um,
good actor. Come on, right? He's a good actor. I
oh
don't
yeah,
know. I don't understand it. Right?
I loved his Joker. I actually
He's
thought his
great. Yeah,
Joker was really
he's
good. It was
great.
very different, very
Right.
thing, but I
Yeah,
really liked it.
right,
He was in a bad film,
right.
but he
And
wasn't the reason why that film sucked.
no. And what's that movie? I can't remember the name. It's so sad. He plays the guy who killed John Lennon. Remember?
Oh
It's a
yeah, yeah. I never
and
watched that. But,
yeah, he gained like 50 or 60. He's a method man. He got fat. But I'm saying like he's great in it. He's a really good actor. So I don't know. Yeah.
mm, yeah.
Right.
So
What
we'll go back to the Braga Trek. All
there
right.
you go. Sure.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay. Oh boy. Here we
We've
go.
got 4 of those series. You've got
Yeah.
to pick one.
Oh, of the new
What's
track?
your favorite? No, no,
Of
no,
the
the
new
original. So
oh shit. Oh my
DS9,
god, that's a hard.
Enterprise,
You
Voyager,
know,
or TNG.
it's
You've got to pick your
yeah.
favorite.
It really is not, and it is original series. It is okay. Now, again, it's so hard. Yeah, I wrote for it. It doesn't. When I watch Star Trek, I might watch the new series a little bit more. Maybe because I grew up with the old series and I watched it so much. Okay, but there's just
Hmm.
something you can't beat about the original for me. That trio of Spock, Kirk, Spock, and Bones. That
Hmm.
trio is such a
Yeah.
glue of that. Yeah, and then after that, I would say, yeah, next gen, but Deep Space Nine's, oh, man, it's just yeah. So it's so close for me. And as you
Yeah.
know, with DS9, you have to keep watching though. It's great, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
serialized. You got to keep watching. With
Yeah. Yeah.
next gen, boom, boom, you can take an episode or two. It's harder
Yeah.
with DS9, but yeah. But I
I
would
think
say
that's one of the
original
reasons
series.
why I loved DS9 because they did that for the first time. And yeah, Voyager did it as well a little bit
Yeah,
in a different way.
right.
DS9's my favorite Star Trek. I
That
love it.
is something literally. And when I was writing too, like, because I wrote the one that sold Charity that became Profit Motive, I wrote 4 or 5 more. And spec scripts that didn't, because I always could pitch to them, but they were always like, "Will, just pitch." No, I want to keep writing because I wanted to really hone my craft. I was
Hmm.
young writer. I wanted to learn how to write more, and that's what taught me. But I'm saying, like, I still have problems with juggling Deep Space Nine storylines. It's so complex. You have to keep
Hmm.
going over it again and again, and I just love that. Yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
go back to. I can't wait to do another rewatch. I did one like 6 months ago. I'll do another
I
one.
caught an episode literally yesterday on Sky just to flick the channels and found it.
Right.
Excuse me. And
Yeah.
it was the one where DS9 is abandoned because
Oh,
the Dominion are coming. And I was
right.
just like, oh man, I gotta watch this every day now for the next
Nice.
I've forgotten
I'm
how much I
telling you.
love this show.
I'm telling you, and you know what's a crime when they put it on in incorrect order in broadcast. Like I
Mm,
don't watch broadcast shows much anymore. Sometimes I'll put one on here. It's called Heroes and Icon. I don't know if you guys get here H and I Heroes. So
no.
they don't usually do it, but they'll put on like one from first season and one from 5, like the next
Mm.
hour. It's like, come on, what are
What
you
we
doing?
get on the one channel is like they run them in sequence, but like Tuesday is like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then like on a Wednesday they'll be showing them in sequence again, but at a different point. So
Okay,
they might
yeah,
be showing season 5.
right,
So
right.
if you don't realize that, you can go, why is the episode season 5 now? Because yeah, you need to watch Tuesdays,
See,
and
yeah,
that runs through.
it's
But
not
don't watch on the other night because it'll be a completely random other
right.
series. So yeah,
Right. And that's like, but I understand the way the broadcasting or syndication, I guess they can't help in certain
mm.
ways or whatever. Yeah. But yeah,
If I
so
have
I
to
was
put you on the
curious.
spot though as well, and just say, what do you think is, again, from your perspective, is the biggest difference between Star Trek, Braga, all that Star Trek,
Mhm.
and Star Trek now that
There's somebody, yeah.
is
But
being so divisive? Is there
Mhm.
creatively, do you think there's a big
I
difference?
I think you really said it when you said about what Kurtzman said to Avery in the meeting that he doesn't
Mm,
want right. He literally here's a great I sort of almost like a metaphor for the burn. I look at the burn as being almost like remember in the redemption episode with Worf the
mhm,
discommendation when they turn their backs on him. That's
mhm,
essentially what Kurtzman has done to TNG or Classic and TNG, TOS and TNG. We
mhm,
gave you the burn, even the name. So if you ask me, what is the most, I made a video on it, what is the most a glaring and important thing? It's the person in charge doesn't like Star Trek or doesn't like it much or really wants to
mhm.
change it so much, right?
He
And
thinks
like
he can do
that
better.
Avery meeting, I'm so glad you told me that. I believe every word. Why would Roger Avery say it if it wasn't? Come on,
No.
I know it's
He
so
called it.
true.
He went on to call him a dweeb.
Ugh,
Um,
are you
and
serious?
then yeah, no. And
Crazy.
he said I could barely watch more than 3 episodes of Discovery,
Ugh,
and again he called Academy an abomination. I was
there you
like,
go. There you go. Now I
yeah.
can't say for sure. I'm not going to try to misquote or quote people erroneously. But what was it? It was Brown Braga and Rick Berman. They were on that. I think it's Shuttle Pod One, that podcast, and they
Mm,
pretty much. I don't know if they were nuking New Trek or Starfleet, but they were certainly had their problems with it, right? And they're
yeah,
both
yeah,
very diplomatic in ways still, I guess, and they don't want to really be unkind to their fellow creatives, but they're like, this
yeah.
doesn't kind of work, or what's going on here? We would never kind of do that. And hey, you could say that's their Trek, and now we have New Trek, but whatever.
I think I would agree with you that it was that it comes from Kurtzman at the end of the day,
Right.
and
It all comes
Paramount
from
put him in charge, so Paramount are
yeah.
just as to blame.
I was gonna say, and that's why when they dump on him, it's like it's all these execs are kind of smiling in the background, going, "Yeah, we're kind of pulling the strings, or we're approving it."
Mm,
And here's another
mm,
good thing. I'm sure Michael Pillar, kind of getting it from Roddenberry, but in the writers' room, he would say to us, "What is it about, and what does it mean to our people?" And that's really isn't that really
mm,
deceptively easy? But it's so true. What does it really mean at the core? And you could go to what inner light, the drum head. Like, we could keep going. What does those stories mean for
mm,
example, to Picard? I mean, okay, it was someone else's alien life that he lived in the inner light, but the way it grew him, like as a person, it's one of my
mm.
favorites. I mean, it's incredible that episode. Would you ever find that on a new Trek or Kurtzman?
Mm.
Maybe. I don't think so though.
We are going to wrap it up, but how much do you think just the fact that they only get 10 episodes
Yeah.
is maybe one of the fundamental problems with New
Right.
Trek, even maybe
Yeah.
more than Kurtzman's insanity?
Maybe. Yeah. Right.
It
Because
just doesn't
I
give us
say
the
like with me,
characters, does it?
right, yeah, like with me, I would never probably maybe I wouldn't have gotten that slot if back in the day TNG was 10, 12, 15 episodes. It's
Mm,
possible. So
mm,
again, not to say, just mine saved TNG. I'm just saying there's so many voices in Next Generation in era, right? There's
yeah,
so many voices, and you just don't
yeah,
have that many in New Trek, right?
yeah.
You
I
just
think
don't.
other shows on Netflix and whatever else get 10 episodes and you get to know the characters. They do it
Mm,
different ways.
okay. Yeah.
I mean, you like Yellowstone and blah blah. All these shows only had
Yeah.
10
Okay.
episodes, or not all of them. I
Yeah.
think Yellowstone might have had more first season, but they
Right.
get to develop characters
Okay.
somehow. I
It's
think
just
with
better
Kurtzman,
written. It's better written. It's
yeah,
well written.
exactly. Kurtzman can't
Mm.
seem to do it. So anyway, as I said, there's a link to the description in your channel. It's just that Mr. Sci-Fi, is that right?
It's a sci-fi guy, a sci-fi guy.
Okay, okay. So basically, a guy tachyon pulses, whatever you want to, I used to call them side trackers on my old channel. I don't really know what to call people that follow my channel this time. So, you know,
was a tachyon pulse TPPs.
TPPs. We're all gonna get TP'd.
There you go.
I'm not sure.
How about just tachyons? Just tachyons. That's cool. That sounds cool. Tachyon.
My fellow tachyons. Tachyoners, I think I'm going to go with just tachyon pulses. We're going to go with that. But all my pulses, we're all pulsing together. Pulsating.
Oh, yeah. Pulsing with rage. Pulsing with rage about New Trek.
Oh, God, yeah. No, but I went dirty with my pulsing's dirty word.
Nah.
But anyway.
There you go.
It's like moist. It's bad word. Anyway, so guys, go and check Will's channel out. Loads of videos and always talking about stuff. On Tachyon Pulse, in about 4 minutes, a live videos drop in. But you already kind of know what I'm going to say because, Starfleet Academy is getting cancelled by the looks.
Right.
So
I love that you're sticking to your guns, my friend, too, meaning that this source is good and it's probably true. So we'll see.
He hasn't let me down in the past. Anyway. But unless, well, you know what the business is like. Things can always change. But, you know, until something's like out there, and I always tell that guys, look, it's a rumor until it's announced.
Right. And you know what? You know what just hit me? J.J. Abrams, he's not the golden boy he used to be. Meaning, you know, if he was still on level of, say, Spielberg, he never, like, I like a lot of his stuff in ways, but he just never kind of fulfilled it past a certain, you know, maybe he'll come back with stuff. I don't know. We haven't been hearing much from him. Right.
His Warner Brothers deal has not gone well.
There you go. So if he was still
something just come out though, hasn't he? Something of his is just.
Well, he produced the new Batman series on Amazon. That's the only thing. The last thing I remember. Yeah. He was a producer or something. Yeah.
Something is coming out through Warner.
Oh, okay. Something big. Something big.
I forget what it was. But he had a Warner Brothers deal before COVID that was like $500 million.
There you go.
And then produced nothing.
Right. Say he was still on the level. Right. Say he was still on the level of Cameron and Spielberg. You think Kurtzman maybe would be being shown the door as much? You know, I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying definitive. It's interesting to ponder, though. Yeah.
It's just so divisive, isn't it? But yeah.
It's
been brilliant to have you on. Yeah, Juliet's lovely. Please like, subscribe, and eat pizza. So is that the share button for pizza? Is that pizza?
There you go. And Jay, certainly, seriously, I guess I found your channel like a month or two ago, and it's one of my favorites. And I'm not just saying it because I'm in. Seriously, I look at it all the time. It's awesome.
I don't have many skills, but sitting here and talking rubbish for 8 minutes at a time.
Okay. I always say I can write and talk. That's about all I can do too. So it worked out for me too.
About it. That's it. I can talk shit and I can chew bubble gum.
Really, what would he do without writing and talking? I tell you.
I'm all out of bubble gum.
But, guys, one of my favorites. Fucking love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, mate. I hope we will see you again. And let's see. I think we're gonna have a big week, Star Trek. Yeah. I think we might be about to find out some interesting things.
Yeah. I'm going to tell all my friends to subscribe to your channel because of what you do. Seriously, that's awesome.
Please do. Everybody helps.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Stay on for the new video and
I do double.
Live long and prosper, people.
I do double.
I used to practice that as a kid.
So I know. And people who can't do it, I'm like, you can't. I can do this and back.
Yeah. Oh, I'm struggling a bit with that.
Yeah, you go.
I'm cold. I'm full of poorly.
Oh, yeah, and you got your cold. Yeah.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
Awesome, guys.